Hello students, welcome to another session of All Force e-learning program. I am DNR, your physics lecturer. We were dealing with the chapter called capacitors, right? In the previous session we have dealt with the effect of the dielectric. Now we will speak about the various effects of the dielectric in the capacitance of the capacitor. So when a dielectric is placed, how does the capacity vary? How capacity can be calculated for full dielectrics, partial dielectrics, multiple dielectrics, horizontal and vertical dielectrics, etc., right? So let's continue with our class. So our today's topic is effect of the dielectric on capacitance. We have dealt with the effect of the dielectric on energy of the capacitor in the previous session. So now in this session we will speak about the effect of the dielectric on the capacity for various cases. We will take up the different cases there, right? So before going to that, let's recall the things, what are the necessary things that are required to understand this today's topic. Okay, right? So I was telling you, a capacitor is an electrical device which is used to store charge and energy. So the capacity of a capacitor, capacitance, C is Q by V, or Q is CV, or V is Q by C. Right? This is the formula for the capacity of a capacitor. Then later we have studied about the different types of capacitors: condenser, spherical capacitor, parallel plate capacitor, cylindrical capacitor, different types of capacitors. And later series and parallel combination of the capacitors. Series parallel combination, multiple combinations, like some are in series, some are in parallel, all that we have dealt, right? Later the energy stored in the capacitor and the effect of the dielectric on the energy stored. So I was telling you, when a dielectric is placed in a capacitor, there are two cases, with battery on and battery off. Suppose if battery is on, right, battery is on, so battery is still connected to the capacitor. Now we are introducing a dielectric. With the battery on into it, if we are introducing a dielectric into it, then the battery will maintain constant potential. The potential in the capacitor will be maintained constant. So potential will be constant, field will be constant, so that maintains constant like this. But if the battery is removed, battery is not on. Removing the battery, later I remove the battery, later I place the dielectric. After disconnecting the battery, later I place the dielectric. Now this time the charge in the capacitor remains constant, not the potential. So potential decreases. The charge in the capacitor remains constant. Later we have to take up the effects based on that. Okay, right? So, but you know, whether it is on or off, whatever it is, whenever you place a dielectric, capacity of a capacitor will increase. That is, suppose if I consider a parallel plate capacitor, there is a parallel plate capacitor, right? So the plate area is A, area of the plate is A like this, and the distance between the plates is D. When air is present between the plates, or air vacuum free space is present between the plates, then the capacity of the capacity is A epsilon naught by D, with air being placed. Instead, if the same capacitor, now the same capacitor like this, right, this way, distributed the plates is D, area is A. Now the plates between the capacitor is now placed with a dielectric. A dielectric is placed of dielectric constant K. So there is a medium that is present in the capacitor. Then it is K epsilon naught by D. This is the capacitor. So when a dielectric is placed between the plates of the capacitor like this, then the capacity is K times A epsilon naught by D. When there is only air, it is A epsilon by D. When a dielectric is placed, then the capacity is Ka epsilon naught by D. Well, this is a single dielectric of same material and fully placed. Now here it is, I am placing between the plate capacitor, completely filled between the capacitor. It is completely filled between the plates of the capacitor. Let's suppose the capacitor The capacitor plates are represented by pink chalk piece. Let's say the pink lines represent the capacitor and the white part represents the dielectric. So if the dielectric completely occupies the total space between the plates of the capacitor, the dielectric occupies the total space, the dielectric is fully placed between the capacity of the capacitor, then the capacity will be K times epsilon. So the capacity in the presence of the medium is K times the capacity when it is air is present. The capacity when there is air that is present, Ca. When complete space is filled with the dielectric, the complete space is filled with the dielectric like this, then the capacity is K times the capacity with air. So that way you can find out the capacity there. Instead of having the complete capacity, suppose if there are partial dielectrics, if the dielectric is placed partially, like suppose there is a capacitor. Let me represent this by a chalk piece like this. Suppose this is a capacitor. Imagine this is a capacitor, right? Distance between the plates is D and the plate area, the area of the plate is A, right? Two plates X and Y. Now what am I doing is I am placing different dielectrics in this capacitor, for example. So first a dielectric like this. This is one dielectric K1. Well, this is another dielectric K2, and now another dielectric K3. Its thickness is T1, its thickness is T2, and its thickness is T3. Suppose, right, if the dielectrics are placed between the plates of a capacitor like this, three different dielectrics of thickness T1, T2, T3. Sorry, this is T1, this is T2, and this is T3. Right, different thickness. Total D is equal to T1 plus T2 plus T3. This is between the plates. Total distance is T1 plus T2 plus T3. Well, the area. So all the dielectrics are of same area. They completely cover the total area of the plate, but the thicknesses are different. Their thickness are different. Then under such condition, the capacity of the capacitor, so the capacity of the capacitor C, now this capacitance of this one is given as, for different capacities like this, like the area is common, A epsilon naught, it is A epsilon naught common, it is like, actually how do they behave like this? So when I place it this way, this part of the dielectric will behave as one capacitor. This part of the capacitor it will behave as another capacitor, and this will behave as another capacitor like this, right? So therefore different parts will behave as different capacitor. So you can imagine this as one capacitor C1, this as another capacitor C2, this as another capacitor C3. C1, C2, C3, different capacitor. Now they are connected in series. In series we know the resultant capacity, the reciprocals, the resultant reciprocal of the resultant is the sum of the reciprocals of the individual capacitors. Sum of the reciprocals of the individual capacitors like this. So therefore from that we get the final capacity as, well, area is common for all. Epsilon naught is electrical permittivity. We know epsilon naught, the electrical permittivity of free space. It is T1 by K1 plus T2 by K2 plus T3 by K3. So this is the formula for the capacity when different dielectrics are placed with different thickness, different dielectrics are placed between the plates of the capacitor. A epsilon naught, A is common for all, A is same for all area. Epsilon naught is electrical permittivity. We know the value of epsilon naught. This is absolute electrical permittivity of free space. Absolute electrical permittivity of free space. Permittivity of free space or air vacuum free space. We know its value is 8.854 into 10 power minus 12 Coulomb square per Newton meter square, like this. Well, I have given you another value also, 1 by 36.10 power 9, so that also you can find. So that epsilon is constant. But you know, the dielectric of K1, the dielectric of constant K1 is of thickness T1. So it is T1 by K1. Second one is of thickness T2, constant is K2, T3, K3. Suppose if there are many such dielectrics, then you can write as T4 by K4 dot Tn by K. You can even write the resultant capacity. So the resultant capacity is A epsilon naught by sigma of Ti by Ki, I1 to In, whatsoever number of dielectrics that may exist. So the resultant capacity you can write as A epsilon naught by Ti by Kn. First one T1 by K1, T2 by K2, T3 by K3 dot whatsoever be the number there. Suppose if there are only two dielectrics, the resultant capacity for two dielectrics you can write as T1 by K1 plus T2 by K2. Many number, then it is like this. If there are only two like this, then it is T1 by K1 plus T2 by K2 you can write. Well, by taking LCM you can write down. Let's take up the thing like this. So for three dielectrics, suppose they are of different thickness, suppose different dielectrics, some number of different dielectrics of different thickness are placed between the plates of a capacitor, then the resultant capacity you can write as A epsilon naught by, it is A epsilon naught by T1 by K1, T2 by K2, T3 by K3, T4 dot Tn by Kn. This is the formula for the resultant capacity when number of dielectrics of different thickness are placed of same area. The area is same. They are placed like this. Conceptually, what do you understand? If you place the dielectric in such a manner, each dielectric will behave as a separate capacitor. Each one can be considered as one capacitor. So this is C1. So the first one you can write C1. C1 is K1 A epsilon naught by T1. Second one K2 A epsilon naught by T2. Third one K3 A epsilon naught by T3. And this is capacitor plus minus. This is plus, this is minus. For this one, this is plus, this is minus. For this one, this is plus, this is minus. Now alternate terminals are joined together. Minus terminal of the first one is connected to the plus of the second. Minus of the second is connected to the third, plus of third. So on and so forth. All are in series. Well, we know in resultant capacity, we know when the capacitors are in series, 1 by Cr is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2, 1 by C3 dot 1 by Cn. When the capacitors are connected in series, the resultant capacity, the reciprocal of the resultant capacity is the algebraic sum of the reciprocals of the individual capacitances. So take each one, substitute there, then simplify, you will get this. This is the resultant capacity. So when number of dielectrics of same area, different thickness are placed, then the resultant capacity is A epsilon naught by T1 by K1, T2 by K2, T3 by K3 dot Tn by Kn. This is the resultant capacity of the capacitor. Well, that you can write as sigma Ti by Ki. Well, suppose if there are only two dielectrics, then you can write like this. Is it? So this way, the capacity of the capacitor when there are some number of dielectrics being placed, then the resultant capacity is considered to be as the, well, when dielectric is placed in a capacitor, the capacity increases, there is increase When the more the number of dielectrics, the more the capacity, less the number of dielectrics, less the capacity. Capacity grows according to the dielectrics. Now, suppose if the same dielectrics are placed, in a different manner, like this, for example. This is the capacitor with thickness is T. Now, if different capacitors are placed between them, different capacitors are placed with different area, suppose, imagine. Let's suppose the first capacitor is placed, first dielectric is placed like this. This is a dielectric of area A1, it's K1. Well, the second one, it is placed like this. A second dielectric is placed in this manner. Dielectric K2 of area A2. Suppose if the third one is placed in this manner, right, K3 with A3. Suppose if the fourth one is placed in this manner, the fourth dielectric is placed like this, A4, K4, and finally the fifth one is placed of area, it's K5, A5. So the different dielectrics are placed in this manner. Now here the total plate area is A. Well, in this one, the total area is A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus A4 plus A5. In the earlier case, the total distance was T1 plus T2 plus T3. Now the area is small, but you know all the dielectrics are of same thickness. Thickness is same, right? Now, well, this part is plus, this is minus, this part is plus, this is minus, this part is plus, minus. Again, you can take this one. You can consider each dielectric as each capacitor. So you can write this one as K1 A1 epsilon naught by thickness is T. Second one K2 A2 epsilon naught by D. K3 A3 epsilon naught by D. K4 A4 epsilon naught by D. K5 A5 epsilon naught by D. So that way 5 different capacitors. And such arrangement you can imagine as the capacitors are arranged in parallel. This is parallel combination capacitor. Well, we know in parallel combination the resultant capacity CR is C1 plus C2 plus C3 dot Cn. When some capacitors are connected in parallel, the result capacity is the algebraic sum C1 plus C2 plus C3 dot C. So the net capacity of this one, it's the addition all. Come on, find out the capacity, individual capacity and substitute all there. Then the resultant capacity of all these capacitors is epsilon naught is constant, D is constant. D is same for all. Epsilon naught absolute electrical permittivity is same. It's bracket K1 A1 plus K2 A2 plus K3 A3 dot Kn An it is. This way you can find. So the resultant capacity is epsilon naught of sigma Ki Ai I1 to In by D. This is the sigma epsilon naught by D, of course, into sigma of Ki Ai by that LCM is T, of course. Right? So the resultant capacity you can write as K1 A1 plus K2 A2. Suppose if there are only two dielectrics, K1 A1 plus K2 A2 by A1 plus A2 times epsilon naught. Well, by D it is K1 A1 plus K2 A2 by, this is K1 A1 plus K2 A2 epsilon naught by D, when there are only two dielectrics existing in this manner. So when the dielectrics are placed across between the plates like this, right, then when the dielectric is placed in this manner, you can consider each one as one capacitor. Each dielectric is like one capacitor. So find their individual capacity. First one K1 A1 epsilon by D, second one K2 A2 epsilon by D, so on and so forth for all things. And you can imagine these things to be connected as if they are in parallel like. So this part is one capacitor, This is another capacitor here. This is another capacitor up to this. This is another capacitor like this. So all are positive terminals. All are connected to one end, and all these are connected to other end. You can imagine them to be connected like this. So they are in parallel combination. So they are all positive terminals are put here, and all negative terminals are put here. Positive are all connected like this. Negative are all connected like this. Then the parallel combination of that. Right, so all positive in this side, all negative this side. So the parallel combination, so the resultant capacity. Just we know when the capacitors are connected in parallel, we know the resultant capacity is the algebraic sum of the individual capacitors. Just add them all. So the resultant capacity is K1 plus K2 plus K3 dot dot dot. Sorry, C1 plus C2 plus C3 dot 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 C. So just add them algebraically. So it's the algebraic sum of all the resultant capacitors. So when I add algebraically, well, for all the capacitors D is common, LCM. Epsilon is common, electrical permittivity is constant. Now the first one, K1A1, K2A2, K3A3, K4A4, K5A4. K1A1 plus K2A2, K3A3 dot dot K. The sum of all. So the resultant capacity like this. So epsilon naught by D, sigma I1 to IN, KIAI. This is the resultant capacity of the capacitor. So that way we find out the capacity. If there are only two capacitors, you can write like this. If there are many number, then it is this way. It's the algebraic sum of all like this. Okay. So this way we can find out the capacity of the different capacitors when they are all connected. Different dielectrics are placed. Different dielectrics of different thickness or different area when placed, then the resultant capacity can be found in this manner. The resultant capacity can be found this way by adding them either in series or in parallel. So the combination, just a minute. When the capacitors are connected when the dielectrics are placed in different manner, then suppose if there is a capacitor of plate area A and the distance between them is D like this. Between them is D like this. Suppose if one part, half of the part is filled with a dielectric K1. Well, this is the capacitor. These are the capacitor plates, right? Half the part is filled with K1, and in the remaining half, one part is K2 and the other part is K3 like this. Half the part is K1, right? The remaining half is K2 and this is K3. Then he will ask you to find out the resultant capacity in such cases. The resultant capacity K1, K2, K3. Or he can even ask you the question this way, right? If the plates of the capacitor like this, 1/4 part of it is K1, the remaining 1/4 is K2 like this. Well, the remaining half is third dielectric K3. This way he will be asking you questions in different manner. Then what you have to do, how to solve such problems in that case. Then please find out the individual capacity of each part. Then arrange them whether they are in series or parallel combination. You see, forgetting this, these two are in parallel. First add them parallelly. Later these both are in series. Even in this also, forgetting this, these two are in series. Add them. Find out the resultant by series. Then to that this is in parallel. Add them in parallel combination. So that way you can solve and get the resultant capacity of the capacitors, right? So different questions will be asked based on the combinations like this. Different questions, different combinations will be asked based on this. So that way you can find out the resultant capacity there, right? Suppose if there is a partial dielectric is placed. Plate distributed to the plates is D and the plate area E. If there is a dielectric of K, thickness T only. So actually the plates are separated by distance T. Between the plates, a part of the space is filled with a dielectric. The remaining place is air. D minus D thickness, the remaining D minus D thickness is all air. But only T thickness is placed with the capacity. Then the capacity of this capacitor can be written as D minus T like this. So the capacity of this one, epsilon naught by D minus T is the thing, and it is T by K. Or you can even write this in this form of, you can simplify this as D minus of T common, suppose T plus minus T if I take T of 1 minus 1 by K, you can write. right? So therefore A epsilon naught by D minus of T of 1 minus 1 by K. So that is D, the distance is reduced by this one. Had air been there, then the capacity is epsilon by D. Because of the presence of this one, the distance is reduced by this part, T of 1 minus 1 by K. There was a beautiful question asked in earlier NEET examination or National Entrance examination. When a dielectric is placed, between the partial dielectric is placed between the plates of capacitor, there is change in capacity. To retain the same capacity, to get the same capacity of the capacitor what it was there earlier with air as a medium, then what adjustment is to be made, or what possible thing you can make out so to retain the same capacity. Now actually from this formula what do you understand? The capacity seems to change because of the distance is reduced by this. Increase the distance by this, you will get back the same capacity. Simple. Just increase the distance by this far, you will get back the resultant capacity. Okay, right? So this way you can find out the capacity. Thank you.